Hello everyone, so thank you for tuning in. Today me and my group members are going to present the information that we got while exploring the cultural and heritage tourism in Kelantan. But before we get through, let me introduce my group members first, which is consisting of 5 people. Me, myself, Siti Nur Sazwani binti Bejakan, Syahmi Sharuni Zamsu, Kesapina Anwal, Shuharnita Nandu, and also Nurafida Sarpudin. Now let's get into it. So what exactly is cultural and heritage tourism? For your information, there are more than 10 sectors in tourism industry, and one of them is cultural and heritage tourism. So just like the name itself, cultural and heritage tourism is basically a tourism activity where people travel to certain places to get to know or to experience the stories or histories that represent the locals. For example, like me, a Sabahan people. So in order to get to know about the culture in Kelantan, I have to go visit Kelantan and get to know more about Kelantan culture and be friends with the people in Kelantan in order to get to know more about the culture and also the heritage about Kelantan. So for your information, this cultural and heritage tourism sector is more famous among those people who seek for adventure, or those who love to learn more about other places, or those who love about histories, or maybe those who love to interact with other people and learn more about their culture. So if you're the type of person who admires all of the things that I've mentioned before, so I think these are some example of places that you might consider visiting. For example, like Kelantan itself, Kota Kinabalu in Sabah, maybe Melaka especially. So these are a few examples that I can give if you are the people who loves about culture and heritage tourism.
Let's move on to the importance of cultural and heritage in Kelantan. First, let me explain the importance of the symbol of the civilizations of a society in Kelantan. With a culture and heritage, we can have knowledge and expertise that is passed on to the new generations through our way of life and beliefs. It is also an irreplaceable source of inspirations for life, so that we can highlight it as a benchmark, reference base, and identity of a society. Second, the other importance is uphold the national currency stability. It is because the preservation of culture and heritage can attract a high rate of tourism to Kelantan. An increasing tourist population can make an exchange of foreign currencies take place in Kelantan. So, Kelantan can contribute to the country by upholding the national currency stability. Lastly, the importance by cross-cultural exchange. Intercultural communication has the power to unite disparate communities by introducing customs and traditions to the outside world. So, it can help a culture in the society being known outside that can raise consciousness of the limits of one's own culture in order to impart the features of respect for others and an expressions of diversity.
Significance of preserving tourist attraction. First, contribute to development from the tourist industry. Tourists often seek the experience of tasting local food when traveling to Malaysia. This is able to create job opportunities in tourist sector and promote Malaysia as one of the world's famous destinations. The second is cultural heritage of high value. Food reflects the history, tradition, and value of our society. The diversity of culture and tradition in Malaysia by providing local food to the younger generation can ensure that our cultural heritage will not disappear and is recognized around the world. The third is become a symbol of national identity. Traditional food can reflect the cultural identity of the country. The preservation and promotion of traditional food help maintain the uniqueness of the culinary culture and heritage attached to the community.
So guys, next is factors that attract tourists to visit Kelantan focus on cultural and heritage. As you know, the state of Kelantan is known as the cradle of Malay culture for having an overwhelming population of Malays, 93%, and the rest made out of Chinese, Indians, and Thailand. The Kelantanese have preserved their customs, traditions, and cultures well over the years. So guys, we move on to traditional performance. It is Shadow of Perspective. It is cast in a dark room. The manipulation of shadows is used to tell tales of time past. Recognized as wayang kulit in Malaysia, especially in Kelantan. It is one of the most traditional forms of puppet plays that can be seen in Kelantan. Next is cultural heritage of games. First is kite making. Kelantan is the home of Malay skilled kite makers who create many different styles, like the wow bulan. Kite making takes an incredible amount of skill, and the practice is usually handed down from the father to the son to keep the practice alive. Number 2 is top spinning, a traditional game that has passed down through generation of Kelantan people. Also referred to as guessing, players use a wide light motion to spin the top, and the winner is decided by who can keep it spinning the longest. And the last one is traditional song. Diki Barat. Diki Barat is a traditional popular among Kelantan's Malay community. Tukang Karat and Tok Juara lead a group in the Diki Barat performance.
The significance of traditional food in culture and heritage tourism. Kelantan, a state in Malaysia known for its rich culture heritage, has traditional food deeply rooted in its identity. First is culture identity. Kelantanese cuisine is a reflection of the state's diverse cultural influences, blending Malay, Thai, and Chinese culinary traditions. We also have dishes like nasi kerabu, ayam percik, nasi tumpang, and various types of local dessert. Showcase this blend and are symbolic of Kelantanese identity. Second, unique flavors and ingredients. Kelantanese tourism boasts unique flavor derived from local herbs, spices, and ingredients sourced from the region. Tourists exploring these dishes get a taste and region's biodiversity and agriculture practice that sustain these ingredients. Lastly, the significance is tourism attraction. Kelantanese food acts as a magnet for tourists seeking authentic culture experience. Food markets, street food stores, and local eateries become significant attraction, drawing visitors interested in exploring Kelantan's unique gastronomy.
Alright, next is the awareness of Kelantan traditional food among the tourists that visit them. So do people who visit Kelantan actually know about traditional food in Kelantan? So let's get into it. So food has been the culture of a certain place and its citizens. For example, like Tom Yum. Everyone knows, we all know that Tom Yum is the significant food of Thailand. But what about Kelantan? What kind of food do people think of when it comes to Kelantan? Based on the study that I found, which is from Muhammad and Shan, they simply stated that Kelantan food that are offered in restaurants are mostly being selected by the owner itself, not by the tourists themselves. And this simply shows how most tourists have little information about the traditional food in Kelantan. Another research being said that most studies only focus on food satisfaction, but does not focus on how the food is actually the one who attract the tourists to visit the destination. So just like we all know that Kelantan has a variety of traditional food that still sustain, but do you know that it actually has been less focused? I've actually been wondering about this for a while until I found a study from Fanti in 2014 that stated that all people are actually consuming the food, but the principles of motivating and satisfying their appetite is actually depends on their culture. For example, like in Kelantan, we all know that most of the Kelantan foods are very sweet, right? So maybe for people who have the opposite likings from the type of food in Kelantan, we'll probably choose not to eat Kelantan food.
Traditional food in Kelantan. In Kelantan, we also known as a sugar makanan. In Kelantan, we popular with nasi kerabu and nasi tumpang. We also have laksam and kuih muih.
So, today's travelers face many of their decisions about tourism destinations and activities on cultural and heritage factor in terms of traditional food types. In general, tourism that focuses on traditional foods in cultural heritage has a beneficial socio-cultural influence. In order to maintain the culture and heritage of food in the tourism industry for current and future generations, while raising local values, applying the principles of sustainability to all aspects of tourism development is one of the best options. For this reason, when undertaking any tourist-related project, care must be taken to ensure that it complies with management principles relevant to the tourism industry.
This is the reference we are looking for about the culture in Kelantan.